And hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Kent Holste Podcast right here on the KentHolstePodcast.com website and as well as the YouTube channel. I'm so glad that you decided to click this link, as today we're honoring our mothers because today is May 9th. It's Mother's Day. And what a wonderful time to celebrate Mother's Day. It's spring. It's new beginnings. And yet, when we think about life, I think at least about moms, because without moms, there is no life that happens. And so today I want to talk about the significance of what my mom and what my birth mom mean to me. And feel free to join in the conversation by talking about what your relationship with your mom means to you. What it was like growing up with your mom in your life. Because I think we all have special memories of growing up, or even as an adult, we have amazing memories of our moms. What life lessons did they teach you? What life scenarios did you go through with your mom? Because sometimes you just need that mother advice. Sometimes you just need that mother's comfort. Because even as a child, as a baby, as an infant, that comfort from the mom is all you need. So we're going to talk about our moms today. So stay tuned and join in the conversation today. Have you seen the Kent Holste Podcast website yet? If you haven't, now's a good time. It's all at www.KentHolstePodcast.com. It's more than just podcasts. There's interviews, blogs, sports talk, the corner ropes, circle of friends, and so much more. So what are you waiting for? Check it out today. It's at www.KentHolstePodcast.com. Join the community. Did you know on the Kent Holste Podcast website, there's a place for you to buy products that can help you look and feel good? But not only that, live a positive, healthy lifestyle? It's all on the Positive Lifestyle by Holste page on the Kent Holste Podcast website. I encourage you to check it out because there's some great products by Q Sciences as well as Herbalife. So check it out today. It's at www.KentHolstePodcast.com/positive lifestyles by Holste. So first of all, to all the mothers that are listening to this podcast today, happy Mother's Day. And I hope that you enjoy this day. I hope it's special. I hope you get to do things with your family and just take in this incredible time to be honored for the life that you have created. So thank you for being a mom. For me, it's an interesting topic because being adopted, I have the opportunity and the privilege of saying that I have two moms. I have my birth mom who created me and made the ultimate very tough decision to put me up for adoption. I have my adoptive mom who took on that, who made that choice to take care of me and to love me as her own. And each of them are unique and special in my mind. one is not better than the other. There's no competition. And to say that it's wrong and all this stuff or jealousy, whatever, that's irrelevant. Both of them are significant. Both of them are special. And I love both of them in their own special way. And coming from a scenario where I did, growing up, I knew that I was adopted, but it didn't change the fact that I viewed and looked at my adoptive mom as my mother. And I know that it's sometimes hard to understand how it's possible for me to find my birth mom and to love and care for her in a specific way. Because some may debate that that's not my mom anymore. But I don't agree with that. Anybody who takes on the role as a parent is either a mother or a father. It doesn't matter if you have taken care of them or if you've put them up for adoption. A mother is a mother. If you give birth, you are a mother. If you take care of a child and you raise them, you are a mother. There's no difference. It's all one and the same. But I have so much respect for both of them. I love them so much for the life that they were able to give me. For my birth mom, she made that choice. She made that hard choice to either keep me or to put me up for adoption. But she loved me enough as a mother to do research, to make sure that the person that would adopt would be the perfect fit from her viewpoint. And the story about my adoption is so unique and special because of the fact that there were some family friends of my adoptive family who knew that my adoptive mother was not able to have any more children. And they knew they were looking for a way to have another child. So they introduced, or I don't know how it actually happened, but in some way, shape, or form, they told about this young girl that was pregnant and was looking to put up their child for adoption. And so, to me, that had to be very hard. I can't imagine what it would be like to know that you weren't old enough and you were not in a situation that was going to be good in the long term for a child. And having to make that commitment to when this child is born, that I'm going to have to put them up. It's something that I've always thought about what it would have been like. And after finding my birth mom, I have heard the story about how hard of a decision it was and how difficult it was to not be able to hold me after I was born. Thinking as a parent who has kids, I couldn't imagine what it would have been like not to be able to hold my own child. It had to be tough. She had to wait 18 years for the possibility or even the thought of maybe she would be reacquainted with me. And, she took that risk that there could have been a possibility that couldn't or wouldn't happen either. And so that's hard. But moving forward, there's my adopted mother. She did whatever she could to take care of me, despite the hard times and the tough decisions they had to make in order to sometimes get me the help that I needed when it came to my attitude problems. But that didn't stop her from loving me. It didn't stop her from making sure that I had a place to live, that I had food on the table. That didn't stop her from, saying she loved me or doing things as a child like reading me books or, holding me and just showing compassion. Looking back, she did everything that a parent would do with their own child. And I think that's so cool. And unfortunately there's some kids out there that don't have the ability to have that special bond, that special relationship with their mom. And I wish that wouldn't be the case. Because everybody deserves to have some sort of relationship with their parent. And, I guess the question that we can put in for today's podcast is, what was your relationship like with your mother? What life lessons and core values did your mother try to teach you? And for those that don't have that ability to say those things about having a relationship with their mom, how did you get through it? What did you do on these Mother's Day to still honor your mom if you could? Did you do something special? Did you light a candle? Did you write a note or whatever? I mean, what do you do? Because I can't imagine what it would be like not to have some sort of mother figure. And so, I mean, let's talk about our moms. Talk about some memories or things that you did with your mom that were special and unique. For me, I think, there wasn't just specific things that my mom did, because we did things as a family. So there wasn't really just a specific thing that my mom would do. I mean, I guess the memories I have is like going shopping, grocery shopping with my mom, and she would maybe let me go to the donut section and grab a donut or get a special drink or whatever. Or I even think back of, back when the grocery stores had single, the old real 100% fruit roll-ups. And back when I was a kid, there's a store called Buttrey's. Now it's called Albertsons. Buttrey's used to have in each of the little, it seemed like every other produce cooler wall, a little spot where there was those fruit roll-ups, those natural fruit roll-ups. And for some reason, I always like the strawberry or the grape. But it's the one thing I think back to. And then another time is, there used to be a little plaza. It's not there anymore. It's where the Smith's grocery store is. There used to be a shopping plaza called B&B. And I remember going in there because they had a little clothing store in there, and then they had the grocery store, and then they had, I think it was Finnegan's was actually in there, if I'm correct, before they moved up on the hill. But they had a little diner in there, and I always like going into the diner. I always ask my mom, can we go in there? And then in the basement, if you went down the stairs in that area, there was a barber shop, a hair salon, and that's where I would get my haircut. And so there's so many memories and I did that with my mom. I didn't do that with my dad. there's so many different things and stuff that I remember doing with my mom, and they're just special, even though they were just small little minor things or things that you would be like, okay, that's not that unique. I mean, any kid goes with their mom shopping, but those are the times that I liked and I enjoyed. I had fun, and so yeah, those are just special times, and I've always carried those close to my heart. And so I think one of the biggest memories that I would say about my birth mom is just the day that I found her. I didn't ask for help finding my birth mom from my adopted family. I asked information, but I was born in a small town in Montana. And one day I just went up there and started looking. And I went from the hospital to the police station to fire department to just little mom and pop stores, just asking around about the possibility if anybody knew of a situation like mine. And finally I was like, you know what? She was in high school, so I'll just go to the high school. So I went to the high school. I ended up seeing a family friend who was a teacher, who was one of the people that recommended the adopted family to this to my birth mom. And so she said, I think it's time. And I'm like, okay. She's like, stay right here. So I'm standing in the front office of the school, and she comes back with a graduation program of the ceremony and a couple yearbooks. And so she flips one open and she sets it down, points at a picture and says, that's your birth mom. I was like, wow, that's crazy. And so she gave me a copy of that graduation, with the list of the ceremony and all the lists of the graduating class. And so from there, I kind of just looked through a phone book and just started searching for phone numbers, and that matched up to the name. And I started calling people, and I got some leads. And so one of the leads was, okay, well, there's someone at a hardware store in town that, is possibly still in contact with your mom. I'm like, okay. So I went there and talked to her, and she's like, well, actually, there's a better person you should talk to. She works at the hospital. So I went back to the hospital. And so I asked for this person. They knew my mom apparently really, really well. And so after convincing and after trying to tell her this wasn't a joke, she said, okay, I'm going to go home tonight. I'll call your mom and see if she is interested in being in contact. And if so, meet me back here tomorrow and I'll give you an answer. And so I got a hotel room for the night, came back the next morning, and sure enough, my birth mom too thought it was a joke. She had to convince her that it was real. And she said, yeah, she would love to talk to you. You're welcome to come to my house. You can use my phone and all that stuff. So I had to wait till like 6 o'clock at night and to make this phone call. So my mind was like, oh my gosh, I have to wait this long. And so I went to this lady's house, talked to my birth mom for what seemed like 5 hours, but it was only 2 at least. And it was amazing. And so the end result was my birth mom was able to come to my high school graduation because I graduated early. And she got to see me graduate with my class. And then after I got out of high school, I went to live with her in Wyoming at the time and to get to know her better and all that. So it was really cool. But before graduation, she obviously came up to visit almost right away, it seemed like. And that was pretty cool. But that's the best memory that I have with my birth mom, is the day that I found her. And so when we come back, we'll continue our conversation about Mother's Day. Are you looking to join a good community with people that truly care about your feelings and emotions? Well, I encourage you to check out Kent Holste Podcast website, where you can find Circle of Friends. Circle of Friends is a place to be a community, but more importantly, a family. This is a page to be supportive by sharing special events that are positive or even letting others pray for you. A place that people can come together without fear of being judged, no matter of race or disabilities. A time to be that person that takes the time to care for others when it's needed most. We are all not just friends, we are family. It's the Kent Holste Podcast website at kentholstepodcast.com with Circle of Friends. Hey everyone, I just want to take this time to thank you for tuning in to today's show. Without your support and watching these videos, this podcast wouldn't be where it's at today. And the same goes for the website as well, and the YouTube channel. So to help me out even more, if you haven't done so yet, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And don't forget to ring that bell so you can be notified when a new, amazing content comes out. Also, don't forget to check out all the other social media sites as well, and like, share, and comment, and subscribe there too. It all is being a part of this community where we can come together and show that we care for one another so we can motivate and encourage others. So thanks again for tuning in, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of the show. All right, so today we're talking about Mother's Day and our mothers. And so I hope you enjoyed that little story about, my birth mom and all that stuff, because it's truly special to me and it's important. In fact, my birth mom just celebrated a birthday, so happy belated birthday to her. And it's so important that we honor our mothers. And when it comes to it, we honor our fathers because, it's important. They deserve a little props, especially if we gave them a hard time growing up. You know what I mean? And so I hope this conversation today has kind of re-sparked a little bit of, those good memories that you had with your mom. Maybe it's, here's a good memory that I have with my adoptive mom. Whenever she baked, I liked watching her bake cookies or pies or, a lot of stuff, because she always made a lot of the meals homemade. She wasn't really one of those, I'm going to buy boxed food or whatever. Don't get me wrong, she would buy canned stuff sometimes, but, 9 times out of 10, she made a lot of meals that were homemade, and she made her own noodles for, she made homemade chicken noodle soup. And so, it's those type of memories of seeing her do stuff like that. And, you just tend to forget how much you appreciate those things. Um, and so this is the time that we honor that. And so um, I guess this would be a perfect time for you to also honor your mother by putting in the comment spot what you enjoyed about time with your mom. You know, what is special and unique about your mom? What has she done for your life, but other people's lives that makes her so special? My mom was a kindergarten teacher for uh, quite some time, along with my dad. And she then moved on to the public school system, where she spent like 22 years, I believe, within the public school system. And so, she her devotion was to helping others and kids and all that stuff. And um, it's pretty cool. And so, uh, with my adopted mom, she always wanted to make sure that no matter if it was an adult or a child, everybody was loved and cared for. And I've talked about this many times with my parents. They were always so welcoming with people within our church. If there was a new teacher or a new pastor, they would welcome them into our home and have dinner with them. Um, that's one thing that I've tried to live my life like. Now that I'm an adult, is I try to welcome people and talk with them and get to know them. And so that's one of the lessons that I've learned through my mom, is to accept others. My mom had a Sunday school class at our church for people with developmental disabilities. And so at a young age, I was taught that, it doesn't matter what people look like or talk or, how they live their life. We are all human. God made us special from his own eyes. And so, that's always something that I've carried with my life. When I went into high school, I had enough school credits to where I could, do whatever class I would like. And I chose to be a student that would help with what we called the All Stars, and that was the class with the developmental kids in it. And I was in there for home ec and got to work with them. And I've always had a soft spot in my heart for people with developmental disabilities, because they are so fun to hang out with and talk with, and they're truly amazing. And when I worked for a nonprofit in Maine, I got to see what it's like to work with people with developmental disabilities more in depth. And unfortunately, those are people that don't always have parents. Unfortunately, they just kind of get dropped off and forgotten about. And it's hard to see people like that not have a relationship with their mother or their father. And you see the pain that it causes them. They definitely realize it, and they definitely think about it. And it affects them. It makes them act out sometimes. And so just like them, I think people that don't have developmental disabilities, and don't get me wrong, we all have disabilities. Okay, let's just put it out there. There ain't no lie about that. But regardless, we all need that feeling of comfort from our parents. And today, as we go into Mother's Day, I hope that you take the time to realize and just appreciate more the fact that you have a mom. And whether your relationship is strong or not, try to make it right. Try to put those tough feelings aside and talk to her and communicate with her and let her know that you do love her regardless of what's going on, and tell her how much you do appreciate them. And you might be surprised what might happen. Maybe that will be the opportunity that it needs to rekindle that relationship with your parent. Every scenario is different. I get that. But it never hurts to try. And so, if you know people that are mothers, take the opportunity and just say Happy Mother's Day, because I know it makes them feel good. And it's just a day to just recognize the people that have brought life into this world. And I think it's special. So in the comment spot, again, talk about the amazing memories and the friendship that you have with your mom. Talk about the things that you've done. Talk about the life lessons that your mother has taught you. And maybe you're in the same position as me, where you have more than one mom. Maybe your mom is your grandma because your grandma raised you. Talk about that. And, talk about your grandparents. We haven't really talked about that as far as this goes. And when we come back, we'll get into the mother's part of our grandparents. Are you a pro wrestling fan? Are you looking for the perfect place to go find all your favorite news and information about your favorite wrestlers or even wrestling promotion? Go check out the KentHolstePodcast.com website and see the Corner Ropes. There you will find unboxings, news stories, pay-per-view predictions and post reactions, and so much more. It's the Corner Ropes exclusively on the Kent Holste Podcast website at www.KentHolstePodcast.com. The Corner Ropes. I just want to take a moment to see if you could help me out for a second. Coming up with different topics and ideas for interviews is kind of hard sometimes. But with your help, I could get some really great ideas flowing here. So all you got to do is just shoot me an email. But not only that, maybe you need someone to pray for you or someone that you know. Perhaps maybe you would like to give some positive feedback and give ideas to make the podcast, our interviews, and something on the website just a little bit better. All you got to do is just send me an email at KentHolstePodcast@gmail.com. Once again, that's KentHolstePodcast@gmail.com. And I would love to chat with you. Maybe together we can make this podcast just a little bit better with your help. So what are you waiting for? Send me your ideas, your prayer requests, or people that you know that would be a great interview, whether they're an artist or maybe they just have an inspiring story to share about their life. Do it today at KentHolstePodcast@gmail.com. So we sometimes forget that our grandparents are mothers and fathers too. So before we go, I just want to talk about the significance of, grandparents, our grandmothers. I was fortunate growing up having two incredible grandmothers. My adoptive parents, my grandmother was just an incredible woman. And she did so much for her community, but most importantly, she did so much for all of us cousins. And the thing is, my grandma had so much going on. She not only had 6 kids to think about and take care of, but as they became older and had their own kids, then she had, you know, uh, 13 grandchildren. I mean, it's just crazy to think that there was that many of us. But yet she took care and loved each and every one of us in a unique and special way. And I can't imagine what it was like for her on Mother's Day to have so much love and care from not just my aunt and my uncles, but also from us grandchildren. It had to be so special. And then on my adoptive mom's side, my grandma, it was a much smaller family, 3 children of hers. And there was, I can't, I think there's 6 of us grandkids, not much. But, it's the memories I have with my grandma from there, is her cooking, her ability to just, be so compassionate and loving. And, I think she would do anything for her family as much as she could. And I think it's just amazing that I had 2 grandmas that were just life inspiring, that gave 2 different styles of how life should be lived, how you should treat others. Both very, very strong Christians. And so, yeah, it's just something I look back on, and for them, my dad's mom passed away when I was in first grade, so that was back in 1990 or 1991. And my mom's mom, my grandma, is still alive. She just celebrated her 101st birthday. And how awesome is that? Could you imagine having that many Mother's Day to celebrate with your family, your children and your grandchildren? It has to be very, very special. And in fact, I'm going to talk to her later today and wish her a happy Mother's Day. And I know when she gets phone calls from us, it means a lot to her. So I look forward to doing that, just like I look forward to talking to both of my moms. And so, it's today is just an all-out special day. And I think a lot of us put it aside because it's just another holiday. But to me, it's not. I wrote 2 of my ex-wives this morning, wishing them a happy Mother's Day and giving them appreciation. Because without them, I wouldn't have 2 of the most amazing children. 2 out of 5 of the most amazing children, that is. And one already responded and said how much they appreciate it. And, it's about kindness. I think when we think about these holidays, we don't think about what it truly means. And it's more than just kindness. It's showing respect. It's showing that regardless of, just like the situations with my ex-wives, we may not see eye to eye, but at the end of the day, they still are important. They still played a vital role in my life. And because of them, I have children. And that is something that you shouldn't hold against someone. And I've always tried my best to be in contact and to show that appreciation. So do that today if you have broken families like I do, and you just take the time, the 2 seconds that it takes to say Happy Mother's Day. Send. But I tend to put a little bit more meaning and say why that they're significant, and make it special. Because regardless of what you feel towards each other, you can't take away the fact that you created a life. And that's how I feel about that. So do that today. So I hope, once again, that if you're a mother, I hope you enjoyed today. I hope that you get special messages from various people telling you Happy Mother's Day. And just enjoy this day. If you're a mother celebrating Mother's Day, think about the memories. Think about where it all began. From the moment that you were laying on that hospital bed, and whether you had issues and complications that made it hard, be thankful. And for those that are listening that could have been mothers that have unfortunately had that situation where things didn't play out well, I'm sorry for your loss. And just because you haven't had that opportunity and pleasure of raising a child, that doesn't take away the fact that you too are a parent. You too are a mother. And you deserve to be honored just as much as anybody else. So Happy Mother's Day to you too. So hope everybody has a great day. Spend time, if you can, with your moms. I can't because mine are both in Montana. But I will definitely let them know how much they are appreciated and loved. And do that today. All right? Talk about this in the comment spot. Share the positive things about your experiences with your mom. And if you do struggle with the fact of not having your mom around and you just need some advice, talk about it. Maybe someone can respond and just let you know that they're there for you and give you some advice of how to remember them and how to stay positive during this time. Alrighty? So as always, thank you for listening. Remember to think and be positive. Do what you can today, not what you can't, to get in contact with your mom and tell them how much you love them. And I believe in you. Don't you think you should too? And if you see someone who served our military, whether it be police, fire, medical, whatever, they don't have to be medical or, people that are in the military. It can be anybody who serves our country. Just take that 2 seconds to give them an elbow, give them a fist bump, tell them how much you appreciate them. You never know how much they might appreciate that one random act of kindness. So do that today. And until the next time we meet, please be safe. And I can't wait to talk to you guys again very, very soon. God bless.